You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Oh, where my fanatism? Where my fanatism?
I'm talking about Shawty going crazy. People going crazy in this motherfucker. Run that shit back, man.
What's the all about
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. On this season 8, episode 31 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, we will be discussing our political prisoner, Mumia-Abu-Jamal, who turned 70 recently on April the 24th and is still serving time behind bars. 44 years for his involvement in the Blacc Liberation Army and the MOVE organization, which was bombed exactly 29 years ago this week. Former Los Angeles Police Chief Willie Williams, the same police chief that chased down O.J. Simpson back in '94, was a commissioner of the Philadelphia Police Department who carried out the order to bomb the MOVE house by Philadelphia's Black Mayor Wilson Goode. So much for black-ass sellout politicians. Free all our political prisoners, like the point number 8 of the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense 10-point program states. We want freedom for all black men in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. We believe that all black people should be released from many jails and prisons because they received no fair or impartial trial. Please call in with your questions, comments, and concerns. The call-in number is 516-418-5996. Press 1 and you'll be live on the air. This episode is for those 18 years of age and older. This episode will also be
Grand Rising,
on
Shabaki.
StreamYard.
I was surprised you was in the studio.
Facebook,
I thought you had something else to do, but I'm glad you're in here because I was running late.
High
I just got
income
the latest days. But
yes, Grand Rising, Shabaki. I was surprised you was in the studio. I thought you had something else to do, but I'm glad you're in here because I was running late. I just got the lady.
Oh yeah, it's all good because I got a medical appointment that I got to attend to, in a few hours. And basically, what I want to do is
so give us the history
on these black ass police chiefs. Okay,
give us the history on Move and how Matulu got caught up
also
and everything that was going on with the Blacc Liberation Army.
The history on what the Move House.
And how Matulu got caught up and what's going on with the Blacc Liberation Army.
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. As you do know, the counterintelligence program launched by J. Edgar Hoover, who had the basic underlying premise that the organization of Negroes was a threat to national security, rather if it was the civil rights movement, rather if it was the Blacc Liberation movement, you know what I mean, or any other organization that had sympathized, with the plight of black people here in the United States. Also, too, the dump, as in human shit. Okay, this bastard will be acquitted. Absolutely, absolutely. He will be acquitted. Okay, he will be reselected. So I'm on the fucking couch on this election, man. I can't do it due to moral consciousness, and I participated in a great deal in politics, registering people to vote, getting out, the vote, walking down a walk list, what have you. And I see we had a caller in from Los Angeles off the 310 area code, and they hung up. You're more than welcome to call back. Probably caught up in LA's rush hour traffic, which is. Oh, okay, yeah, but he's more than welcome to get back with us. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the brother's input and what have you. Okay, and so therefore, Brother Che, the history of Mumia-Abu-Jamal, the history of Malcolm X, the history of Dr. Huey Percy Newton, and what have you. Finish Shakur, the Queen Mother. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. They're trying to erase this from the history for our youth. It's because, as you and I both know, the only thing they want black men
I heard some real weird shit yesterday
dresses and to shove ketchup up their asses.
Because like I said, one of those police officers that was on the force for like 25 years.
And then most definitely,
what's going on the DPD? They threatened her, so she resigned.
Like I said, one of those
stepped down, and then the Kamala Harris chick, Lisa Calderon, that ran for mayor too. She was talking about heterosexism and toxic masculinity. I said these liberals will make up anything.
The Kamala Harris chick, Lisa Calderon, that ran for mayor too.
Yes.
She was talking about heterosexism and toxic masculinity. These liberals are
I saw some bullshit like that, man, on the internet, man. That
it's just masculinity. They just threatened by it and scared of it, so they call it
toxic masculinity. What is toxic masculinity? Okay, I guess black men
threatened by it and scared of it, so they call it toxic.
Yeah, so they're calling it toxic because this is men expressing masculinity as opposed to men expressing femininity. I see. Okay, so it all adds up, even in this warped, fucked up part of the galaxy. 2 + 2.
Lady Chase in the building.
Also, too, the chat room is open for our hate mail, so therefore, guys like Joe Gibson and what have you, you guys are welcome to call in and all. Okay, and also too, I spoke with our elder yesterday. Got a lot of good advice from him.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, in the feature, which is under review, is that we're going to try to keep it G-rated, for all audiences, mainly on our daytime shows, and then those that we do anytime after at 6 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone, which is 5 p.m. here in the out here, in Nevada and what have you.
Oh, but Shabaka, don't forget the topic.
Uncensored.
Okay.
You
were giving us an update on. You were giving us the history of Move.
Okay.
And,
no, I'm sorry. 2 days ago.
What's his face? Mumia
was
Shabaka, don't forget the topic. You were giving us the update on. You were giving us the history of Move.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, Mumia-Abu-Jamal, he was a photographer, and he had recorded a lot of films, photographs, and what have you of police brutality, particularly in Philadelphia, is because there was a very, very brutal video, or I should say film clip shown, and I don't know if Mumia had filmed it or not, but what it was it was showing the Philadelphia Police Department beating and kicking a brother for more than 5 minutes, and they kicking him real hard, so hopefully that brother had survived. Oh, okay, yeah, it was ugly. And then at that time, according to Mad Dr. D, from memory, is that they had a mayor there by the name of Frank Rizzo, okay, of Philadelphia. And then I think Rizzo was the mayor at the time. No, I'm sorry, he was the mayor before Wilson Goode. And Wilson Goode was the one that gave Willie Williams, then the police commissioner of the Philadelphia Police Department, the order to bomb the Move house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get this.
Yeah.
And I am doing this here from memory of what's left of it. Okay, is that when they bombed the
Tulsa
house,
Massacre,
it burned down the whole daggone neighborhood. Understand? It's kind of like a smaller version of the Chicago fire. You see what I mean? It burned down the whole neighborhood. It got out of control. Oh, yes, sir. That's exactly what it was. Okay. And then from what I understand that there were children in there. And then from what I understand about the Move organization, it was about reconnecting, with our ancestral past, okay? And I believe one of the things too, Brother Che, and any of our callers are welcome to call in and let us know, okay, is that they had wanted to get back to proper living, proper eating, cooperative economics, building Black businesses in the Black community, which have been stressed, in the Black community, for over 100 years at that time. Also, too, we got to, get the reparations, for all the money that the Federal Reserve stole from the Freedmen's Bank. And the tab now, ladies and gentlemen, is $800 trillion in intangibles. Now, for all our haters out there says, well, you colored are not going to get it and all this crap, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we pay you no mind. The reason why we pay you no mind is for the simple fact is we're not going to lose focus, on our objective, which is total economic independence and self-sufficiency and the right to self-determination. Now, with the hypocrisy of what this is that all these other groups are employing such a method, but they all are setting up businesses in our community, draining our life blood, you see, promoting theirs. And then we address such issues that we are referred to as racist, and there's no such thing as a Black racist in the United States. One, we don't control no major industries. We don't control no social media, no major technologies, although definitely check out blackspeed.com because there's a brother that's trying to do that. Let's support him as per one of our contributors, Sister Trish. Okay. And then on top of it as well, too, we got to quit the path, ladies and gentlemen, of self-destruction. So we must definitely give a shout out there to a new era of Detroit.
So
new era
so getting
of
back to
Chicago. In fact, a whole new
Mumia.
era movement.
What did Mumia end
together
up going
that
to
is
prison for
expanding
44
and
years?
more power to them. Okay. Another thing when you do this type of yes, sir.
Mumia.
Yes.
What did Mumia
yes,
end up
sir.
going to prison for 44 years for?
Why is he in prison for 44 years? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you could pull up his history, man, that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, I believe they tried to pin a case on him like what they did with Assata Shakur. You see what I'm saying? And then I think that he did try to go through the appellate process, and they kept denying his appeal, You see, just like with the dump, as in human shit, okay? And we want to make that perfectly clear, okay? He's going back and forth with this circus of a trial there in New York City. This
so I pulled it up, Shabaka.
Okay, number one. Number two,
so this is from Wikipedia, which
you know, as the
really
president.
Source,
you see what I mean? Number three, I'm in fear.
Mumia-Abu-Jamal, born in Wesley Cook,
yes, sir.
April 24th, 1954, same year that the Board of Education was passed. Brown versus the Board of Education was passed. Is an American political activist and journalist who was convicted of murder and sentenced to death in 1982 for the 1981 murder of Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner.
Political activist and
while on death row, he has written and commented on the criminal justice system in the United States. After numerous appeals, his death penalty sentence was overturned by a federal court. In 2011, the prosecution agreed to a sentence of life imprisonment without parole. He entered the general prison population early the following year. Beginning at the age of 14 in 1968, Abdul-Jamal became involved with the Black Panther Party and was a member until October 1970, leaving the party at age 16. After leaving, he completed his high school education and later became a radio reporter. He eventually served as the president of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists from 1978 to 1980. He supported MOVE, a Philadelphia-based organization, and covered the 1978 confrontation in which one police officer was killed. The MOVE 9 were the members who were arrested and convicted of murder in that trial. Since 1982, the murder trial of Abdul-Jamal has been seriously criticized for constitutional felonies. Some have claimed that he is innocent, and many oppose his death sentence. The Faulkner family, politicians, and other groups involved with law enforcement, state, and city governments argue that Abdul-Jamal's trial was fair, his guilt beyond question, and his death sentence justified. They're always trying to justify our sentences and our deaths. When his death sentence was overturned by the federal court in 2001, he was described as perhaps the world's most known death row inmate by the New York Times, New York Slimes. During his imprisonment, Abdul-Jamal has published books and commentaries on social and political issues. His first book was Live from Death Row, 1995.
Abdul-Jamal has published books and commentaries on social and political issues. His first book was Live from Death Row, 1995.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and in other news,
I think they overturned it. That's what they were talking about yesterday.
That savage Harvey Weinstein is in the process of trying to get his convictions overturned as well, too, which was on mainstream media. Also, too,
that's what they were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, his New York conviction, but he still has the one in California. Okay. Then also, too, at the University of Southern California, which is located in South Central Los Angeles, they have canceled their graduation.
Yeah, we had a rally.
Because the Los Angeles
we had a rally here too,
has been going out there arresting numerous people
must
in
camped
regard
over there
to the
overnight.
situation over there in the Middle East.
Yeah, we had a rally.
So we
had a rally here too, Shabaka. That's the Aquarius campus. Must camped over there overnight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what's happening is, they are removing those who was posted up there at USC and also to at various other colleges and university campuses. And as you know, Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, took his funding away from Columbia University in New York. Okay. And then the dump, So, all this stuff here is rapidly changing, ladies and gentlemen, and the things is that is happening here with this political fervor, is bringing back the late, great 1968. The pattern is the same. It's an election year. It's an Olympic year. It's an
we've been through this before, Shabaka. Ain't no such thing as no Middle East.
All across,
it's either Northeast Africa or Southwest Asia.
About the situation in the Middle East and what have you. Okay, but still, you got these brain dead acts.
Ain't no such thing as no Middle East. It's either Northeast Africa or Southwest Asia. Ain't no such thing as no Middle East.
Well, that's why they're trying to ban TikTok. One of the reasons they're trying to ban TikTok.
And then also, too, social media is getting too much power. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, stay on California's helmet.
Okay, thank you for that information, Lady J.
Yeah. And then also, too, another thing as well, too, is with them trying to say that... Okay, and then also, too, is that they are saying, that this George Floyd scholarship discriminates against whites under the Civil Rights Act. Okay, so you see there, ladies and gentlemen, our people went out there, got killed for this bullshit. Okay, now the oppressor is trying to use it against you. What is it, man? When they take you in the court or you get arrested, by these race soldiers, these policy enforcers, okay, who evolved from slave catchers, anything that you say will be used against you in a kangaroo court of law. Okay, so therefore, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening here in New York State with the dump, as in human shit, okay? Don't expect him to get convicted. Okay, all righty, yeah. Okay, yeah, please have them call in if they have anything to say. And then, Brother Chair, I'm going to be leaving here kind of early, man. It's because I got, this appointment, you know what I mean? And I got to drive clear across town to do it. So therefore, rush hour traffic here in Sin City is chaotic. But however, you get used to it when you grow up in a cesspool like Los Angeles, California. Okay. Also, too, and then also, too, now listen to this propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Transgender identity has existed throughout history as long as humans have existed. Now, this is another goddamn lie that they want you to believe in, this bullshit. You see what I'm saying? And then also, too, they trying to put some shit up here about 25 historical icons who you might not have known were alphabetized. Okay, now, yeah, and then too, as you know, is that getting information and showing that the birth rates are being lowered, and there's a definite correlation between the birth rates being lowered and these individuals, men who want to call themselves as women. Okay, men folk, let this here be a reminder to you. the crack of your nasty, funky, stinking ass is not a woman's womb. Okay? Number one. And if anybody don't dig it, the number to call in is 516-418-5996. Now, you have your human rights and you have your civil rights, but you do not have the right to come up to heterosexual people talking about you're a man who calls himself a woman. Okay? This is sickening. Okay? And then then they're trying to limit the growth of Black history museums once again. Okay, so therefore, those who identify with their slave master, as our elder told us, a few days ago on our last podcast. Okay, and a couple of people got ejected. You know what I mean? Because they were disrespecting the elder, being very argumentative as the elder was laying down knowledge. So what happens, folks, we got the eject button. You see what I'm saying? And when you come up and disrespect our platform, we're pushing out the eject. We're going to put you in the eject seat, period. Okay? And then on top of it, we do not mind controversial conversation. We do not mind respectful debates. But all this stuff about screaming and yelling at us and telling us to sit up here to go against our people, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. Not on this podcast, it ain't. Okay. Now, here we go. Students fight back against transgender bathroom policy. Now, let's see what this is, okay? If this is a tape, I can't play it, but if it's an article, we will read it. Okay, it is a tape. Okay, so we have to pull that up there on a later edition. Okay, artificial intelligence, extremely dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Very, very dangerous, okay, is because a computer only know what it's programmed, okay? Great news, great news, great news. Extreme anti-LGBTQ plus law upheld in Uganda. Okay. Okay, great news. Uganda's constitutional court. What's that?
The Nuggets are sweeping the Lakers again.
No, the Lakers have to rebuild the team, and I think what's happening is that LeBron is just hanging on, to make history. Is because if he plays with his son or against his son, regardless, it will still be history. The Lakers have to rebuild the team. It's going to take them at least 4 or 5 years to do it. And then when LeBron, plays against his son, I would imagine, I don't know for sure, I don't have any reports confirmed or unconfirmed, saying that LeBron will retire after that. Then, of course, let his son go on there and carry his legacy. Okay, so therefore, they are have extreme anti-alphabetized agendas in Uganda, which are being upheld by its constitutional court. All righty. And that's great news. You know what I'm saying? It really is because that there's some Eurocentric bullshit, number one, and things of that nature right there. So anybody who wants to argue and debate me on that, hit the chat room. You know what I'm saying? And we will do a special story on that there for you. The question is, are you going to show up when we make the show? Okay. And as you know, they got this business between Jake Paul.
On topic about it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Go right here. Please continue.
Yeah. I hope Tyson beats the brakes off that fool. But getting back to the topic, we got Jamal was born Wesley Cook in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
He was a younger brother. He has a younger brother named William. They attended local public schools. In 1968, a high school teacher, a Kenyan, instructed in a class on African culture, encouraged encouraged the students to take African or Arabic names for classroom use. He gave Cook the name Mumia. According to Abu-Jamal, Mumia means prince and was the name of several Kenyan anti-colonial African nationalists who fought in the Mau Mau uprising before Kenyan independence.
Yeah, under Jomo Kenyatta. Yeah, he was the leader of the Mau Mau movement, you know, to get Kenya's independence. Yes, sir.
Correct.
And keep that.
How did he get involved with the Black Panthers? Abu-Jamal was described being kicked into the Black Panther Party as a teenager of 14. After suffering a beat from a white racist and a police officer for trying to disrupt the 1968 rally for independent candidate, your favorite guy, George Wallace. Oh, frog face.
No, segregation yesterday, segregation mine. Oh, yeah, frog face. Yeah, to hell with frog face. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Former governor of Alabama, who was running on a racial platform. And then he helped form the Philadelphia branch of the Black Panther Party with self-defense Captain Reggie Chanel. Is that how you say it?
Okay.
SCHELL and other Panthers. He was appointed as the chapter's lieutenant of information, responsible for writing information and news communication. In an interview in the early years, Abdul-Jamal quoted Mao Zedong saying, saying that political power grows out the barrel of a gun. That's what Pops is always saying. Chairman Sekou, he's always saying that. That's like his favorite quote from Mao. That same year, he dropped out of Benjamin Franklin High School and began living at the branch's headquarters. He spent late 1969 in New York City and early 1970 in Oakland, living and working with Black Panther colleagues in those cities. The party had been formed in Oakland, as you know, Okanda. And he was a party member from May 1969 until October 1970. During this period, he was subject to illegal surveillance as part of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's COINTELPRO program, with which the Philadelphia police cooperated. The FBI was working to infiltrate Black radical groups and to disrupt them by creating dissension.
Yeah, that's what happened in Chicago. That's what happened in Oakland. That's what happened in Los Angeles. You see what I mean? You know, I believe it also there happened in your neck of the woods there too, Brother Che, and Denver. Is because
Lauren Watson and Chairman Sekou and the other Panthers that were around at that time.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, of course, you know, divide and conquer, you know, was the Europeans' method, just like they did, you know, with the indigenous people of America. But we do have an unknown caller. I think I know who that is. He can go ahead and raise his hand and join us.
Is that you know, you're reporting late to duty, Sarge.
Okay, well, he's yet to be unmuted. He's yet to raise his hand. Okay. But it's all good. Okay. Question mark of Sarge right there. Okay. And then, too, the hypocrisy. All right. In this corner.
I know it was goddamn Sarge.
Unknown caller, your mic is on.
You sound like a factory scene or something.
Man, I had to get my witnesses in place. But before I got on the line. Because I said to myself, now y'all are going to be witnesses to see how rapidly this guy mutes me in the middle of my responses, probably in a range of 20 to 25 seconds.
Okay, we got the count start now, Sarge.
So I got the witnesses. I got the witnesses here to verify what I say. So you know me. I'm all about facts. You know that.
Okay, Sarge.
And I'm gonna have some backup. I'm gonna have some backup, and they're gonna be able to verify everything I say. So listen, you got to listen. I want some listeners to your show.
Don't co-sign what you say.
Okay, Sarge.
Wait a minute, I just got on. So I mean, all you have to do is ask me to respond to something, and I'll be more than happy to do so.
Yes, sir. Okay, Sarge. As you know,
Mumia. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Yeah. First question, Sarge. What are your thoughts on Mumia-Abu-Jamal? Is because after all, Sarge, you are our elder. You know what I'm saying? And you must have been a younger man at that time. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Mumia-Abu-Jamal and how is he being treated? And also, too, are they violating his First Amendment rights? We can't hear you, Sarge.
In what regard?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, sir. Okay, what's your overall opinion of Mumia-Abu-Jamal? You mean because he's in jail, and you're saying that the prison authorities,
he's in prison.
Prison, rather, yeah, he's in prison, and you're saying that prison authorities are not allowing him freedom of speech?
Yes, sir. It's because we believe that's why he was framed for murder. You know what I mean? And then also, too, Sarge, what I want to get your opinion on, too, is the bombing of the Move House as well, too, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I believe in 1986 when I was a younger man. You know what 85. I mean? And then also, too.
85.
Okay, in 85. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, see, senility is starting to set in on me. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Sarge.
So you are aware that, when you are convicted and imprisoned, you lose a lot of constitutional rights. I mean, you're aware that, you're the ones that are always complaining about the Constitution allows you to be enslaved. So, I mean, why are you surprised that your First Amendment rights are curtailed?
You lose all your
freedom of the press, right? No, but hold on, Sarge.
I'm just saying, you certainly lose the freedom to go and come as you please, don't you? You're imprisoned. That is the loss of a constitutional right because you be convicted. Let's tell you. Now, you want to know how I feel about it personally? You know me, I'm a free speech absolutist, and I would extend that, yes, even to Mumia-Jamal, but Abu-Jamal, but I don't get to make that call. The man is a convicted felon. He's lost constitutional rights while he is in prison, and he's in prison for life.
Okay, do you think his case should go before the U.S. Supreme Court? I mean, after all, they're taking up the dump as in human shit in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone ever a problem with anyone bringing up a constitutional issue before the Supreme Court. Now, what is the constitutional issue that his advocates are intending to bring before the court?
Okay, I would say, Brother Che,
appeal.
Right. I mean, after all, they're talking about, going over appeals with a convicted sex crime criminal by the name of Harvey Weinstein.
All right, well, how does that connect? How does that connect? Are you saying that there was what was the constitutional defect in his conviction and or sentencing? What are they claiming?
Okay, they stated, they claiming that he murdered.
At the end of the day, they need to overturn the conviction. It was misconduct in the trial. It was misconduct with conviction. All of that. It needs to be overturned, Sarge. Okay, so what is the claim? What is the constitutional? Remember, what goes for the Supreme Court is not a trial of fact. The trial is a fact. They've already done it.
Now, what Supreme Court does is take a look at the findings of the triers of fact in light of the Constitution. So what are they saying is defective in that finding? Constitution.
Okay, that he was set up the same way they did Assata Shakur, the same way they did Huey Newton.
Exactly.
The same way, what they did with some of the civil rights workers, Sarge, is because, you know, Sarge, there's a huge difference between the civil rights era and the Black empowerment era, a big difference between the two. Okay, now, this man has appealed multiple times. They put a rubber stamp on it like they did Geronimo Pratt in California before Johnny Cochran got him released. Okay, you know, deny. What are they afraid of, Sarge? Okay, I'm going to tell you what they're afraid of. This country is afraid of being brought face to face with its hypocrisy, Sarge. As long as Black people are going out here killing each other, making rap records, calling our women the B word and referring to ourselves as NGRs, you know what I'm saying, shoving ketchup up their ass, talking about they menstruating, then we're okay, just like Hollywood's effeminization of the Black male, plus the cases that Weinstein got out there in California as well, too. You see? So basically, Sarge, what we're talking about here is basically the hypocrisy of the American social order when it comes in regard to Black people.
All right, now you are aware. Let's take a look at the evidence that convicted Jamal. All right.
Okay.
Now, you're aware that what was presented at trial was both a great deal of eyewitness, which is direct evidence, and circumstantial evidence that he killed Officer, what was named Faulkner? I think, Faulkner. If I remember right. Yeah, Faulkner.
Right.
That was the officer's name.
I'm looking right at it, Sarge.
Okay, so you had a lot of circumstances, including particularly that statement that a nurse and a security guard in the hospital said is there was spontaneous statement when he was in the hospital. You know what they call spontaneous utterance? I shot the motherfucker. I hope the motherfucker dies. So are you dismissing all of this then? Are you dismissing all of this evidence? You're saying all of it was...
Are you dismissing the fact that there was only 2 Black people on the jury and 10 white people on the jury?
I would only dismiss it if I believe... Wait a minute. Now, the only reason, I'm not going to automatically, categorically dismiss any racial makeup on the jury unless the prosecution deliberately and unconstitutionally excluded Black jurors. Now, for me, that would be an issue.
That's the whole point, Sarge. They did.
Then all right, then let them bring that to the court. That would be a valid constitutional issue. So, what is their progress with regard to this? Is the case, you think the Supreme Court is likely to even take it up?
No, it already went before the Supreme Court back in 2010.
Okay, so it needs to be revisited again.
So you're saying, so they brought the case to the court about an unconstitutional exclusion of Black jurors. And what was the evidence for that by the prosecution of that unconstitutionally excluded Blacks of the jury?
The district attorney, Seth Williams, dropped the death penalty conviction, but they still sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So he was no longer on death row. That's back in the general population.
Yeah, but what is the relationship of that to what is the relationship of dropping the death penalty to the fact that Blacks? Because here's the thing. Look, if they had
a question, Sarge, let me answer the question.
All right,
you always talk about it, give you a chance to answer questions, but you won't let me answer the question.
That's true, and that's true. Okay, well, go ahead. Let me hear your response. So
the Third Circuit Court heard oral arguments in the appeals on May 17, 2007, at the United States Courthouse in Philadelphia. The appeal panel consisted of Chief Judge Anthony Joseph Scalia, Judge Thomas Barrow.
Whoa! Back up a minute, there, Brother Che. Did you say Judge Scalia?
Yes.
Okay, Sarge, correct my memory. Wasn't he on the U.S. Supreme Court? Scalia?
Scalia was never a judge in Philadelphia. Yeah, you got to make sure you got the name right.
He was on the appeal panel, Sarge.
Wait, what was the judge's name?
Judge Joseph Scalia.
Scalia?
Wait.
Yes, Scalia.
I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. SCIALLIA.
That sounds like Skirika. That sounds like Skirika. That's not the same man. He was never on the appeals court.
I stand corrected. Sharika.
Okay.
Judge John J. Sharika. Yeah, he was on the U.S. Supreme Court. Yeah.
No, Scalia was on the Supreme Court. SCALIA. That was. They got the wrong judge.
No. He was the senior United States Circuit Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Third District or Third Circuit.
Okay.
Well, the name you just gave was not the man that was ever Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, or rather Chief Justice of the United States. That's not the same man. It's just not.
No, I didn't say Chief Justice. I said Chief Judge.
Oh, yeah, Chief Judge. Okay, but as long as we're clear, we're not talking about the man that sat on the United States Supreme Court. Because there's never been an Associate or Chief Justice named Skirika.
Yeah, it was similar spelling. That's what threw me off. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Now we got that clear. Let's move on. Okay, good.
Okay.
The Commonwealth of Philadelphia sought to reinstate the sentence of death on the basis that Yo's ruling was flawed. So that's the original judge that sentenced him to death row. And he should have deferred to the Philadelphia Supreme Court, which had already ruled on the issue of sentencing. The prosecution said that the Bassey claim was invalid because Abu-Jamal made no complaints during the original jury selection. The resulting jury was racially mixed, with 2 blacks and 10 whites at the time of the unanimous conviction. The defense attorney told the Third Circuit Court that Abu-Jamal did not get a fair trial, because the jury was racially biased, misinformed, and the judge was a racist. He noted that the prosecution used 11 out of 14 preliminary challenges to eliminate prospective black jurors, Sarge.
Okay.
Terry Myers Carter, a former Philadelphia court stenographer, stated in 2001 affidavit that she overturned Judge Sabo say, "Yeah, I'm going to help them fry the nigger," in the course of a conversation with 3 people present regarding Abu-Jamal's case. Sabu denied having made such comments.
Okay, I could see them. I could see them sending it back down for a new trial on that basis. But obviously, the decision was made to rescind the death penalty, but not overturn the conviction or send it back to the lower courts for a new trial. And the Supreme Court declined to hear the case. So now, what do you think should be done?
They need to toss out their
declare
conviction.
A mistrial, Sarge, and start all over again. They're gonna have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did that he supposedly killed this pig, or this police officer, excuse me. That he supposedly killed this police officer.
I think the evidence is more than adequate to convict him. Now, the issue of defects in the trial, the issue of racial bias, and the issue of excluding blacks from the jury, that is a valid concern for a new trial. I think the evidence presented to court was more than sufficient to convict him. But the defects you are pointing out often do result in a new trial, not usually a dismissal and a dismissal of charges. No, that's not going to happen based on the evidence that happened in court. But for a new trial based on those issues, yeah, but the Supreme Court wouldn't hear it. So what he's going to have to do is get it back before the Supreme Court. What his lawyers are going to have to do is get it back before the court, the Supreme Court, for another hearing.
Well,
and that's the this happened about 30 years ago, right? About 30-something years ago?
No, sir. It happened 50 years ago.
More than that, Sarge.
50 years ago. Yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, so how are you going to... Many of the witnesses are either dead or they're not going to be able to find them all over again. So he would probably walk if they get a new trial. Okay? They're not going to be able to... They're not going to be able to prosecute the case.
That's the whole point. Exactly. That should give him time, sir. He already gave the state 44 years behind bars. That should give him time served.
Well, I know. Well, obviously, I mean, look, a new trial means you've got to bring the entire case all over again. Everything, the witnesses, the evidence, everything. And if you can't do that, then you have to drop the charges against the defendant. But remember, the Supreme Court is not granted certiorari for the case. They're not going to hear it. And it seems to me like that's got to go back to the Supreme Court to get the kind of results that you guys want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen unless the Supreme Court decides to take the case. And they have the option
they can do it
to
again.
take. They have the option to take any case or not take any case.
So that's the sad part about the deal, Sarge. See, they get selective of the cases that they take and do not take. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
That literally is true.
So
that's literally true.
Sarge. Okay, hold on, Sarge. Okay, we do got a caller out the 602 area code last 3048. If you'd like to comment, please press 1. Be more than happy to have you on there. So, like Malcolm X said, Sarge, all of this is hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? That is going down. You see what I mean? The day of the ass scratcher, the day of the Yassa ball, sitting at the lunch counter begging for a cup of coffee at the lunch counter. Those... Yeah, it's over. Okay, we got a caller here at 602. Okay, 602. Your mic is unmuted. What's your name and where you calling from? 602.
Now, Shabaka, you do realize now, Shabaka, you do realize that for me, when it comes to the Constitution, in this case, I see two separate tracks. I believe, this is my belief, you don't have to share it, that the evidence presented in trial is more than enough to convict him. That's my belief. It is also my belief, based upon the things I've heard about this, and I've heard this thing before. It's been a while since I heard it, but now all the memories are flooding back. There is an issue that could amount for a new trial, but you got to get that before the Supreme Court. The racial exclusion of the jurors, the comments by the judge that are biased and all of that, yes, that would open up the possibility of a new trial. Both can be true at the same time. But look, if you can't get it before the Supreme Court, then there's no joy.
Also, Sarge, couldn't the president pardon him as well?
No, because it's not a federal offense. No,
then the governor can pardon him.
The governor can, yeah, the governor can. The governor of Pennsylvania has pardon power.
Okay.
Again, you got to get that. You got to apply. You got to and that would be either a commutation of the sentence or an outright pardon, and that's highly unlikely given the fact he was convicted of killing a police officer. That's highly unlikely.
Okay, now hold on a second, Sarge. Okay, now I think, Sarge, you just contradicted yourself, man. Like when you sit up there and told me on this podcast, okay, Sarge, well, we was talking about the hummingbird, okay? You see what I mean? Okay, so therefore, Sarge, Sarge, so is it a paradox or is it a contradiction? And of course, the paradox is a contradiction. That is true, Sarge. Uh-huh.
And the witnesses were unreliable, Sarge.
Yeah. Okay. And then also too, Sarge. And which is also common too, Sarge, with your colleagues there in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we see 602 is dropped. Thank you for calling in 602. Okay.
Wait, Shabaka. Saying witness is unreliable would mean that would be something that would be determined at a new trial. That's a matter of fact that the appeals court don't deal with. Remember, they're not trials of fact.
Okay.
So this is why what you need to get is a new trial. See, the appeals court don't try facts. That's what the trial court does. And then you look for constitutional defects in their findings.
Okay. All righty.
Well, he needs to get a new trial, Sarge. Plain and simple.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe he did it. That's my belief. I believe he did it. I'm not going to disregard the constitutional issue because I am a constitutionalist. So I believe he did it. I believe he did it.
The witnesses were unreliable, though. They were unreliable.
Okay, why were they unreliable?
The defense maintained that Abdul-Jamal was innocent, and the prosecution witnesses were unreliable. The defense presented non-character witnesses, including poet Sonia Sanchez, who testified that Abdul-Jamal was viewed by the Black community as a creative, articulate, peaceful, gentle man. Another defense witness, Jesse Hightower, testified that he saw a man running along the street shortly after the shooting, although he did not see the shooter himself or the shooting himself. The testimony contributes to the development of the running man theory, based on the possibility that a running man may have been the shooter. Veronica Jones also testified for defense, but she did not testify to having seen another man. Another potential defense witness is refused to appear in court. Abdul-Jamal did not testify in his own defense, nor did his brother.
Are you sure this is in Los Angeles?
Clearly told.
Okay.
It's all Philadelphia.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Well, look. You and I both know the story of if it does not fit, you must acquit. You know damn well you
must acquit. Exactly.
I do. You do. I know. I'm certain O.J. Simpson was guilty, but he had an effective defense. Now, in this case, they were unable to portray the defense. The witnesses as unreliable. Now, what about the ballistic evidence and the firearm itself? Do you have any doubt that the gun belonged to the man? Now, when he was brought to the hospital, they took a shoulder holster off of him. Okay.
Yeah.
When he went out there, he had a shoulder. The gun was linked to him, and so was the ballistics of the bullets recovered from Officer Faulkner's body. Now, what problems do you have with it? Because all that's circumstantial evidence, but what problems do you have, if any, with that aspect of it?
Okay, well, Sarge, it's the history of the Philadelphia Police Department.
Identify him as the actual shooter, Sarge.
The history of the Philadelphia Police Department is going to be irrelevant unless you can tie that history to the specifics of the Jamal case. So again, I'm saying, what defects do you find in the evidence of forensic findings of both the firearm and linking it to possession of Jamal? And the ballistics of the bullets taken from Officer Faulkner's body.
Sarge.
Okay, because Sarge, that evidence could be fabricated.
Hold on, Shabaka. I got to get this out.
Yeah.
I got to get this out.
Yeah.
His tests to confirm that Abu-Jamal had handled and fired the weapon were not performed.
So they will do a thorough test.
Could have compromised the forensic value of such tests.
Okay, now at that time, the way they would determine, they did take a gunshot residue test using paraffin. That was the way they did it back then, to determine whether or not they would take swabs from your hands or fingers, and then they would put the paraffin on it, and then they would examine your hands for evidence of gunshot, which is inevitable when you fire 5 shots, especially out of a revolver with all the leakage around the chamber barrel seal.
Right.
You get gas that comes out, and you're definitely going to get gunshot residue on your hand. The fact that they didn't do it is not automatically exculpatory, though. It is something that they can raise if they do it.
Why didn't they do it, though, Sarge?
Maybe because he was in the hospital being treated by the medical personnel.
That never stopped him from doing that. Anybody else?
No, I know. I'm saying it did, and I'm saying they should have. I do think that it's problematic for the evidence collection, but what they had left over, you just can't outright dismiss it simply because they didn't do a gunshot residue test.
Oh, that's reasonable now, Sarge.
On the ground.
Well, then it didn't fly with the jury.
And some bullet fragments that were taken out of Faulkner's body.
Okay, I'm just saying that. Look, I see your point. If I was his defense attorney, I would definitely raise that issue that they didn't do a paraffin test, a gunshot residue test. But look, it did not sway the jury. I mean, it just didn't.
But Sarge,
the jury was
he did not have a Sarge. See, Sarge, you're supposed to have a jury of your peers. Now, like an old broken down bastard like Shabaka, okay, God forbid that if he was accused of a crime, I'm supposed to have a jury of some other old broken down bastards in my age group, all black, of course. You see what I'm saying? You know, all
black jury is also a racist requirement. You can't do that.
No, it's not, Sarge.
Now this I know. You are not allowed to exclude people from any jury on the basis of their race. Not anyone.
Oh, but Sarge,
you're not allowed to exclude.
Sarge, they did it in Ventura County with Rodney King.
I don't care. Now you're making an argument. I don't. Constitutionally, I don't care. Constitutionally, I don't care. You are not allowed to exclude anyone from a jury on the basis of race. Period. End of story.
I got a question. Hold it, Sarge. I got a question. Hold it, Sarge. I got a question. Okay, I got a question, Sarge.
Then raise that issue.
But Sarge. Okay, so now let me ask you this here, Sarge. Am I supposed to, God forbid, I get hit with a case. I'm supposed to let guys like Joe Gibson on my jury, Sarge? I'm supposed to let guys...
No, wait a minute. Joe Gibson might be good for you on a jury. You know why? Because Joe Gibson has a healthy distrust of the police and the government. He might be one of the jurors you can count on to give you acquittal if there's any doubt about the government's conduct. Sarge. Well, they might. Wait a minute. That is why they have a broad deal of hearings to determine the impartiality of jurors, and that's why everybody gets preemptory challenges, where they can just dismiss you for no reason whatsoever. They don't have to give a reason. Usually, it depends on the state. It's usually 10 to 15 or 20 preemptory challenges to any jurors. You don't even have to give a reason to kick them off. But I'm just saying, Joe Gibson, given his distrust of the government and the police, might be the very guy you would want on the jury.
Sarge.
If he could stay on the jury.
Okay.
If they actually selected him, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but Sarge, he's against reparations, Sarge. You see what I'm saying? So
I'm against it too. So what?
Why?
There's a lot of black people. There's a lot of people from all races that are against reparations for slavery.
We already know this, Sarge. Okay, Sarge.
So I'm just saying, that doesn't mean that because you're against that you don't want to see justice done in a constitutional manner. I know that's not true with me. You've heard the issues I've agreed with you on.
You definitely don't want to see justice.
Wait a minute. You heard me respond to what you say. I did not categorically dismiss any of your claims because there is a valid constitution now about the bias of the judge and the issue of jury selection with the exclusion of blacks from the jury, which is unconstitutional. So see, I want justice to be done.
1 second. Sarge, let me interrupt you for 1 second. Okay, this is a tribute to the dump, as in human shit.
You're going to lose this one. You're going to lose this one. I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose this one. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Because I have seen Alvin Bragg's case now. I've seen Alvin Bragg's case. It is so funky. I mean, fat Alvin Bragg. I've seen fat Alvin Bragg. And let me tell you something. This is the most defective case I have ever seen. It is literally a Frankenstein case of rotting, decomposing, the moldering in the grave, legal crap. I've never seen worse. And I'll tell you specifically what is wrong with this case. He invoked New York Penal Code, Section 17-152, and cobbled together the most absurd legal case I have ever seen in my life. It's worse than Connie Rose's case.
Sarge. Okay, hold on, Sarge.
No, I'm ready to rock on this one, brother. I'm ready to go.
Okay, hold on,
you better have your shit in order. I'm ready to go on this one.
Yeah. Okay, Sarge, you putting up a good fight. Now let me ask you a question, Sarge.
Damn right.
Did you take Sarge? Would you pay Stormy Daniels, man, what is it, $250,000 to have sex with her?
$500.
Oh, hell no. Hell no, I don't think Trump would either.
But he did.
That's what you say. He said he didn't.
He got hush money.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Man, forget all that nonsense. The man's on trial for his freedom and a conviction of a felony. Now, you better believe if you're going to bring a case like this against a former president of the United States, you better come as correct as you could possibly be. I've never seen such a... If you brought a case like this against anyone, much less a former president, I would say, man, get the fuck out of the courtroom with this crap.
Okay.
This case is horrid. You understand? Wait a minute. You need to let me tell you why it is so bad.
Okay, honestly. Sarge, let me tell you something. What you and I need to do, you need to come out here to Las Vegas, Sarge. You and I need to take $50 a piece to walk off into one of these casinos and put our money on saying that the dump, as in human shit, will not be convicted.
And we want to make that perfectly clear.
No, wait a minute. On that, I don't agree with you, and here's why I don't agree. Because I don't think he's going to be acquitted outright, no matter what. I think the best he's going to hope for, given the rigged nature of this goddamn thing, and it's a farce. It is a farce. I think the best he can hope for is a hung jury. He's not going to be acquitted outright, I do not believe.
Okay, Sarge. Now let me ask you this here, Sarge. This is before Brother Chase time. Okay, Sarge.
I wouldn't jump a case like this against anybody. Not even Joe Biden.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, hold on, Sarge.
It is really bad.
Okay, Sarge. You've seen the movie with the great Al Pacino called And Justice for All, right?
Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's been a while, but I've seen it. It was a great movie.
It's been a while.
And do you remember his closing argument that Al Pacino said, and he was the judge's lawyer who was accused of these crimes? Well, he got up there and said that these laws are full of hypocrisy. Okay, hold it, Sarge. Hold it. Then you got the judge, played by Jack Warden, who goes out, a shotgun up to his head, sits on the edge of a ledge, contemplating suicide, and he was the judge, right? And Al Pacino stated that this fool deserves to go right straight to fucking jail. Okay, he raped that woman, he sodomized that woman, and he's got me up here, you see what I'm saying, to defend him. Why? Because everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win, Sarge.
Okay, now you're speaking of corruption. So now what are you, applauding corruption now?
Sarge, the whole trial is corrupt. The whole trial is out of order. The defendant is out of order.
Come on, Shabaka. Look, I love this sophistry. Everybody's guilty, so therefore no one is guilty. Oh, come on, man. You can do better than that.
Sarge. Okay, Sarge. Let's look at tricky. Okay, Sarge, let's look at tricky. Ladies and gentlemen, the people have a right to know if their president is a crook. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a crook. And then less than 2 weeks later,
here's what I noticed you're doing.
Come on, man.
Here's what I noticed you're doing. You are doing everything you can to avoid speaking about what Alvin Bragg has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in the courtroom, and you're wise to do so. You know what? It's like the lawyers say, when you got the facts on your side, you argue the facts. When the facts are not on your side, you pound the table.
Sarge.
And then you're pounding the table right now.
Sarge, do you know how many people have been convicted in Los Angeles County, wrongfully convicted? Now, I'm going to tell you something else, Sarge.
They're Democrats that run it.
Okay,
why shouldn't it be?
Okay, it's the Democrats.
Sarge. Okay, now Sarge. Now I'm gonna tell you who the dump, as in human shit, needs to be prosecuting his ass. That is the A1 only Gloria Allred. If you are a man and if Gloria Allred comes after you, Sarge, you don't go to court with that woman. She is a barracuda. You settle out of court.
I know she is.
Yeah,
I know she is.
Out of court with Gloria Allred, Sarge.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you can settle out of court, you talk about a civil case. What we got here in New York is a criminal case. We got a criminal case here in New York.
Okay, Sarge, Gloria Allred has got guys convicted in court. You see what I'm saying? In criminal cases. Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, that broad.
Gloria Allred.
Well, wait a minute. Look, man. Look, hey, you think I got a brief Gloria Allred? I can't stand that wench. Are you kidding? Please.
Sarge, you don't get no argument from me. Hey, I'm the last one you'll get an argument from because I've seen Gloria Allred working out of my years of living in L.A. County.
All right, I damn sure ain't going to defend her, so I'm with you on that. So
she's dangerous, Sarge. She's dangerous.
Well, she's hideous.
She's hideous. Okay, but Sarge, okay. But would you pay $250,000 to Stormy Daniels?
What did I just say? Hell no, and hell no.
Okay. Now hold on, Sarge. Now let's move on to Bill Cosby a little bit. With that Me Too movement, have you got to look at them broads, the ones that tried to say that Bill Cosby raped him? Have you looked at them chicks, man?
Well, I mean, I think you got to look at him. I think you got to look at him at the time Bill Cosby was alleged to have done what he did. Because some women don't age well, you know what I mean?
You're innocent until
Okay, Sarge. Okay, now Sarge. Bill Cosby's been with Camille all his life, even from the days when he was at Temple University before he started his career as a comedian.
Yes, that's true.
Why would you pass up Camille Cosby to something that look like them chicks with that?
What do the feminists and the leftists tell us that rape is about? They constantly beat us over the head with this refrain. Rape is not about lust or sex. It's about power and abuse. They know what they tell us all the time. I don't agree. Wait a minute. I don't agree with that, but that's what they say. So if you accept their line of reasoning, it didn't have anything to do with what they look like. Okay?
I see. Okay, now let me ask you this here, Sarge. Okay, but whoa. Hold on, no, Sarge. So therefore, on the plantation system, when black women were being systemically and violently and brutally raped by raping, slave trading pedophiles, right? We're supposed to forgive them for that, right, Sarge? I can't hear you, Sarge.
Wait a minute. I have never said you're supposed to forgive anyone for any crime. That is a matter for every individual to decide who to forgive or not to forgive. I'm not arrogant enough to assume that I have the power to forgive anyone for anything that's not over my direct control. So I don't do that. I say you decide who to forgive and not to forgive. All I know is what happens, and I like to place it all in context. And I think anyone, the very exercise of holding someone in slavery is an arbitrary exercise in power. The act of doing that is enough, and it doesn't matter who does it.
Okay, Sarge, you just supported our case for reparations. Okay, Brother Che. Brother Che, let me... Okay, hold on. Okay, Brother Che. Okay, I'm going to have to ask you...
Unless you've been convicted of a crime. Unless you've been convicted of a crime. And then nobody in any prison system today forces an inmate to work against their will. Nobody does. Nobody. Not in any state.
Sarge. Okay, Brother Che, Sarge. Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to have to let you continue this conversation because I do got this appointment that I have to attend to. So I myself, Shabaka Sankora.
I think we're at time. We got 13 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir. And I have to get in the traffic. Okay, so my closing statement on this right here, ladies and gentlemen, on Grand Rising, the air date of this episode is April 26, 2024. Donald Duck Trump, the dump, has inhuman shit. And I want to make that perfectly clear. Will not be convicted. He will be acquitted. And he'll be reselected. Okay, so I bid you. Okay, and I bid you all a good morning from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, Sarge, let's go up there and place these bets in the casino, man, that Trump can get acquitted and let us get paid so we can be rich like him.
You know my position on that. Hung jury, maybe, not likely, but acquittal, no way. Not in New York, not in Manhattan, not with this rigged system that they deliberately set up to destroy his campaign. That's the whole point.
I see. Okay, Sarge. Okay, you all have a good morning, man. I'm out. Okay, Brother Che, I'll listen to the playback later on this afternoon. All right, take care, man. Hold them down, man. And then also, too, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you done gave him a tough fight now, because it takes at least two of you to get me. And you know damn well, and neither one of y'all ain't going to get me by yourself. You know that.
No,
that ain't happening. That's a damn lie. Unless you hit that mute button. Unless you hit that mute button. That's all you got.
Hit the mute button at all.
I said unless you hit the mute button. Unless you do, you ain't got a chance against the Sarge and fighting Trim.
I see. Okay, Sarge. Rumble, young man, rumble. Okay, so what you saying, Brother Che, we got to end the episode because I'm in the studio, right?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, and I do got to go handle this appointment. Okay, Sarge, keep your eye on the chat room, man. We might do a special edition tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think Joe is on today. You know what I mean? I'll go on there, man, and, aggravate him a little bit. We can argue again. You know what I mean? But I definitely got to go handle this appointment. So we thank all our listeners.
I just want you to know, I am serious, though. If you ever get out of trial and there's any doubt about your guilt, if any reasonable doubt can be raised, you probably would want Joe Gibson on your jury. I'm telling you, he's got a distrust of government that you almost both share that quality in that regard. Both of y'all distrust government. Okay, he does, and so do you.
Okay, Sarge, here's what you do. If you speak to Joe Gibson before I do, please relate that there to him. And the next time he comes on, I'm going to keep an eye on him, and I'll try to call in. Okay? And then we could argue, debate, and go from there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. The air date of this episode is April 26, 2024. We appreciate all our supporters. We also appreciate our haters as well, too. And our chat room is always open, for our haters. And so we can look at the asinine statements that they say about us, and we will be more than happy to read them on the air. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day from Sin City.
All right, y'all. So that's gonna conclude Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, season 8, episode 31 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. We had a in-depth discussion about our political prisoner, Mumia-Abu-Jamal, turning 70 on Wednesday, April 24, 2024, and he's still serving time behind bars, 44 years for his involvement in the Blacc Liberation Army and the MOVE organization, which was bombed exactly 29 years ago this week. Former Los Angeles Police Chief Willie Williams and the commissioner of the Philadelphia Police Department, who carried out the order to bomb the MOVE house by Philadelphia's Mayor Wilson Goode. So much for black sellout as politicians. So we want an immediate, we want to free all of our political prisoners, like point number 8 of the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense 10-point program states. We want freedom for all Black men held in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. We believe that all Black people should be treated, released from many jails and prisons because they have not received a fair and impartial trial. And as I have shown and proved, Mumia did not receive a fair and impartial trial. So thus he should be freed. He should get time served, and he should be able to live the remaining days of his life on the outs. So thank y'all for tuning in. And that's also, he should also be compensated for giving the state 44 years of his life. So all his prime years were given to the state, and that is a shame. And they cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he had killed Officer Faulkner. So yeah, that's a justice claim right there in itself. Also, the MOVE house being bombed, that's a justice claim as well. So all of this is just leading up into more reason for reparations, cash direct payments to the descendants of American child slavery freedmen here in the United States. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms, Frontline Black News, The Revolutionary Agenda, on YouTube and Facebook, and Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter, now X. What else was I gonna say? So thank you for everybody that tuned in. Shout out to Twin. Appreciate you coming through, Twin. Also Shy. Appreciate you coming through. Go Nuggets. Back to back, back to back. And hopefully Lady Che will be dropping the RBA sometime today. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll see y'all tomorrow for Frontline Black News. Season 4, Episode 4, Part 1 of the Frontline Black News. So peace, love, light, reparations and separations, and Black empowerment. We'll see y'all then. Peace.